What's up, guys? We're here at Tower Games and Extenders Gaming, and we're gonna do the deck profile for
Eric Diaz.
And Eric, tell me, buddy, what were you doing? What were you playing?
Tearlaments, baby.
Of course, you don't play anything else. Let's go ahead and see that profile, my guy.
Okay, so we're starting basic. We're starting with the normal tier engine. So you have the three names. You have Rhino, you have Tearlaments Cashier Friendlier. I do use 3, which you normally use 2, but I'll explain later why I do use the 3.
The ulti boys.
But yeah, this is the new tier engine, so it's pretty basic.
Okay, and obviously you use the Fenrir to get those juicy Cashiras.
Definitely.
Tearlaments, of course.
That's my new Kid Kalos.
Of course.
Rip. So we do have the millers and the shufflers, pretty basic. They're self-explanatory. It's insane.
Konami's biggest mistake, yes.
Yes, definitely, 100%. So I do run the 1 Visa Starfrost, and that is also the reason why I do run the 3 Rhino Heart, just to summon this. People do not expect this. I would run 2 Rhino Hearts, but basically, once again, this is the only reason why I do run the 3. 1 Visa Starfrost to summon this.
Of course, we'll get to that when we get to the extra deck.
Definitely. Okay. We do run the Shadow package and mandatory King of the Swamp. Since they did ban the Kit Kalos, this is our replacement for her. And because of that, we do use additional fusions. But for the Shadows, I do run the Beast Squamata and Hell Shadow. This sends Beast. This is a free draw 1 or a mill. So aside from that, we do use the window, so that's the reason why I normally use this 3.
Yeah, you can mill a lot with the Hell Shadow, right? Like
Definitely.
2 to 3 cards, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. This would be my other normal summon, which I adore, and Gamma Seal, which we can use for a Kaleido Heart. Aside from breaking boards, we can basically just tribute a monster and summon it like any other kaiju. I love this card because this could be a potential in mill 5 and could be a route to burrow on the floor. So that's pretty insane on my part. And if they somehow impermit, it's still a level 2 that you can use it for sprint as well.
Yeah, to send early. And of course, Gamma Seal is like the most versatile kaiju that you can run because, you know, you can't use it for those fusions.
Definitely.
That's crazy. Yeah.
We do use one of the best cards in the deck. This searches basically your whole deck. Since we do run a number of Cashier cards, we also do use the 1 field spell. And you can consider using 1 additional one. So once again, pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, it's like Perlino's crazy. That's Trident in your deck. That's insane.
We do also run the 3 Scream. People tend to run 2. I do run a 3 because it's pretty insane when you draw it with a tier name. That's an additional just mill 3, which pretty extends all your plays. We do have the 1 power spell. Foolish Barrel, once again, pretty self-explanatory. You can send basically any card from your deck. Mill 5, Fusion, anything else.
Exactly.
You have the Poly, which the Poly searches, King of the Swamp searches the Poly, which also we do use for Guardian Chimera, which once again, it's pretty insane. It's a pretty nice board breaker.
Yeah, and that also protects him from being targeted. That's insane.
Definitely. People tend to forget that effect.
Of course.
We do have the 2 Suliak. Once again, that's a perfect number. You can search, then just imperm. And we do run the 1 Tribute Karma, which is 1 additional search for any tier card, any tier spell and trap, including the field spell.
Yeah, you can get Suliak Scream, anything. That's insane.
Yeah. Now we're going for the extra deck. We do run the 1 Garura. If you do have 2 names, you can use them. We do have the Mud Dragon, the Dragostapelia, which are normal super poly targets, as well as generic fusions on the deck. We do run, like I mentioned, the 1 window. Whenever I did summon this, people tend to just assess this card or just basically like pass turn or just scoop. This is one of my tech cards. I do run the 1 Lubellion just because Bestials aren't in the current meta. I can return from banished names, including 2 names to make Garura. Like I mentioned earlier, I do run the 1 Vicious Astrolaut, which normally tends to go for a game. Pretty insane card. I really do like it, but I may be considering like taking it off later.
And that's removal too. That's a big body.
Yeah, it is. And it pluses whenever you do destroy a card. We do have the 1 Grapha. We do run the King of the Swamp. It can replace the Grapha. You can consider it a negate, but it's just effect modification. Like I mentioned, we do run the Chimera, which pretty insane board breaker and pluses as well. The two basic tier element fusion, Rogue Hollows and Collider Heart, they're mandatory if you're playing tier. There's no questions asked. At least one of them.
Yeah, King of the Swamp helps you get into the
Rogue Hollows.
the Rokalos and the Grapha too.
Exactly. And you can even use it for Collider Heart in some cases.
Yeah, because he's an Aqua.
Yeah. We do have the one Baron because we do have two ways of summoning it, either the Diviner Herald or the Visa Starfrost. So it's pretty insane. Time Thief Redoer, one of the best XYZ that you can run, period. You can fusion on the opponent's turn. I do run the one Dugaris. I don't quite see it that much, but it does unbreak a hand. So it's a pretty nice option to have.
Yeah, and it fills your grave. Exactly. That discard one, yep.
We do have the one Sprint, which I mentioned earlier as well. You can send Merly. Other target would be Diviner, but mostly for Merly. The one Boracay Bomb Blocker. So basically this is easiest way to go into Sprint. And you can also discard a card if you were to have like a Miller.
Yeah, that grabs continuous and field spells, right?
Yeah, you can either grab the field spell, either from Kashtira, field spell, the Pearl Rhino, or the Scream.
That's crazy. Yeah, nice. Now onto the side deck, boys.
Yeah, side deck. So the side deck would be the one Scatter Shot. This basically self-explanatory. You can like in scenario that it did happen on Nationals, I normal summon then gone into Sprint and basically burn the 500. But additionally, that's fine. We do run the 3 Chaos Hunter. This is mostly for Kashtira. You can also use it for Bystials, but not ideal. Mostly just to assess Kashtira players.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if they have a Rise Heart. That girl says that's off. That's off.
It shuts down Shifter as well, which is our biggest enemy here.
Exactly. Enemy number one.
We do run the 3 Dark Ruler, basically board breakers. Once again, another board breaker. This is super versatile from us, either main deck or side deck. You do need to run this card in my opinion.
Of course.
I do like it side deck because I can see how players play around Super Poly. So I just put it on side deck. I do run the 2 Cosmic Cyclone. Mostly this is used for Runic. I do run the Harpy's Feather Duster. This
Power
could be
spell.
used exactly for Labyrinth and everything else. This also an additional Cosmic Cyclone, but pluses me as a tier player. And we do have the Omni Negate, which is great going first. I do side deck every time I go first, either taking out Solic and anything. It's really self-explanatory. So yeah, that's it with the side deck and with the whole deck.
All right, so let's go a little bit into detail against what you played against during Nationals. That one poor branded player.
Yeah, so basically I went with a couple of bandit players. I did went against 3 bandit players. I never had an issue with playing against them. I always went 2-0 with them. The other, like, the top of my mind were Rika, were Runic Sprite. There was, I don't remember the other ones from the top of my mind. The 3 losses that I did have, which I didn't win to day 2 of that Nationals, was against Kashtira, biggest enemy of course.
Yeah, of course.
Fluunderies. There was a misplay that could carry on to the 3rd game, but that was a misplay on my part. And the last one was Bystial. Once again, the other 2nd enemy of ours. They banish our names. It's really hurtful. That's why I do run the Lebellion. Aside from that, the experience was really well. I did like see improvement on my part, but I just love the experience.
Yeah, man, you're kind of a hometown hero with that stream, clapping that branded player. And tell me, after Nats, any considerations that you would make for the main side or extra, like any changes?
Yeah, so like I mentioned, I did consider like taking out the Visas Astrolaud as well as the Visas Starfrost with the 1 Rhino. Aside from that, I don't know other changes from the top of my mind. I do have 2 spaces there, but I'll just be continuing on bettering my deck. But those are the ones that I do have on top of my mind. I do need to like fix the side deck, but aside from that, that's depending on the meta. So that's fine. That's the only change that I'm thinking about.
All right, and as we all know, Duelist Nexus and the other set, Age of Overlord, we've seen new cards for Visa Starfrost, which you're a big fan of. Obviously, you have him in this deck. You have Vanadium Core sitting at home for when the time is right. And any cards from either of those sets that you've seen that you could maybe incorporate into this, despite the fact that it's an older deck?
So aside from new Manadium cards, I am thinking about like joining the tier Manadium cards. I still don't know which exact cards I'm going to be using, but aside from that, the Revolution Synchron that's coming up, it's pretty insane with the Ancient Fairy Dragon and the Crystal Wing. That's a combo that you should always consider. I'm probably going to be putting up that combo, but aside from that, just trying to make a deck with Manadium and Tearlaments, which one of my 2 best lore cards like, ever on Yu-Gi-Oh!
All right, sure. Thank you so much, Eric. Any other comments or anything that you'd like to say before we sign off?
No, aside from that, I would like to shout out to the team, Extenders. I have a great experience on that. I had a lot of fun on stream. One of the best experiences that I've ever had in like on Yu-Gi-Oh! Period. I would love to keep continuing just flying out of my island to just do a bigger tournaments and everything. So I'll be seeing you guys.
All right, thank you so much, Eric. And this has been the Extenders Gaming signing out. Peace.